All right. All right. Greetings again, town folks. Welcome to another weekly wrap. In the words of the infamous Curtis Wilson, it is definitely the weekend, baby. And we're coming off of what had to have been a mixed bag of emotions, emotional night, which was the video game awards. As you can see by one of my cohorts, who I'll start off with, Tech Storm.
Right.
You could just see how much energy was exhausted from the show. Tell it what's going on, Tech. Tell everybody about yourself.
Hey, man. Look, all right. Yesterday was a colossal mess. All right, I'm trying to forget about it, but it's just it's now permanently there on the internet. I'm not gonna delete it. I'm not gonna take it down, but we're gonna come back from it. Almost everything that could have went wrong yesterday did go wrong. And not just we're not just talking about like our podcast that we throw on me and Mr. Keep That Bear in Mind over here, but also, just the game awards itself. Damn, Last of Us fucking taking every award. Already seeing the memes on the internet, man, for real.
Oh yeah, it's yep. It's like that tattoo that you get while you're out drunk with the boys. It won't let you forget.
Never forget, never surrender.
And also, we're joined by Mr. Full Nelson himself, aka Keep That Bear in Mind.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all y'all who checking us out in the live stream and also on YouTube. We appreciate y'all for checking the podcast out. And please continue to just, you know, keep your heads up. I promise you, it's gonna be. If you have a, I promise y'all, I'm gonna give y'all this little tidbit. This is something I was talking with Mr. Textstorm yesterday. Is the worst case scenario can possibly always occur at any given point in time. What you also have to realize is that the best kind of outcome can happen at any point in time. It just depends, are you willing to get to that stage and do what it takes? Sometimes, y'all, it might be, have to step away from some people. Sometimes it takes, just trying to problem solve in different ways. But where there's a will, there is a way. Never forget that. But I'll end that as my intro.
All right. And also tonight, for the first time ever, we're joined by a special guest of mine's. He's a good friend for a very long time. Also a fellow gamer and somebody who's been trying to break into the indie development scene himself. Uh, Xboxer and PC player. We're joined by Sandy from Sweden. What's going on, Sandy? Tell everybody about yourself.
Well, hello. Yeah, I'm in Sweden, and the weather is just as well as the event itself. It's gray, soggy, and it was miserable.
Only if you, I guess, only if you're there breathing around everyone else.
Uh, Something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh, well, let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and start it off because I'm gonna try to keep it a little short tonight. Because, like I said, I mean, I could just see poor Tech over there just fighting. He's just fighting with all his might. Z Man just got him locked in, and he just won't let him go. So,
Man.
well, San, you I mean, you already saw the video game awards yourself. I mean, tell us your thoughts, man. As to did you kind of already foresee this level of fucking going down?
I actually should rename myself to Nostradamus.
You foresaw it, didn't you?
Yes. And the best part was that they didn't go as bad as I expected because they were like, we made a meme of oh, they were listing the 5 games, and then, oh, we're giving awards to Last of Us Part 2, but even though it has nothing to do with it. That didn't happen, though, but it was close.
Yep. Well, I pretty much, from last night, being in the podcast with you guys, Tech, you're on my stream now, so go ahead and let everybody that watches me know how you really feel. Go, you know what? I'm the
fuck it, man. Just fuck everything. Yesterday, I was just so pissed off, about how the Game Awards went. Not just, like I said before, not just for TD, but I mean, my guy, it was a wreck. And I'm not gonna lie and say it wasn't a wreck. Now there were some games that everybody that was on my cast yesterday, we all got excited for, we all jumped, we all yay scream for. There was some shit, especially the winners of some of the categories. I'm not gonna say it, but Game of the Year was snubbed again. Best Direction was snubbed again. And let's get this straight for the record. I don't despise completely The Last of Us Part 2. It was just a waste of my time. That's how I feel about it. Shit.
You're actually more positive about it than I was. I was like, I can't even deal with it.
I played it. I played it, and originally I wasn't even going to buy the fucker and play it. But, I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to do it anyway. Like, who fucking cares? So I buy it. I play through all of it, right? Every single last hour of the game, and it's just not worth it for a Sony exclusive like that. The Sony exclusives at a certain point were starting to get sloppy. There were some that were hits, there were some that were misses, and that's all you can really say about it. It was a big old swing and a miss.
Yeah, you could almost say that I would rather see Death Stranding getting the award.
Yes, Death Stranding, for me, a lot of people hated on Death Stranding too. For me, Death Stranding was very, very intriguing in the pure fact that it was different and it took more of a risk that actually paid off for it as opposed to The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we just got joined by ODT Reaper. What's going on, ODT? Thanks for popping in.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Yep.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, I'm starting off with getting everybody's thoughts on last night's bullshittery.
You could call it something more than that, but we're in front of the public eye. I wouldn't recommend it.
I called. I'm like Sandy. I kind of already foresaw it, but I'm going to let OD2 go ahead and share his thoughts because he just popped in.
Well, I'm actually kind of I was actually kind of happy what I saw last night. I'm not actually complaining. I'm happy we got the Master Chief in Fortnite done. I'm happy we got the new Wild West exclusive next year. That looks awesome. I'm looking forward to the newer versions of xCloud, and I am really looking forward to all those nice Game Pass experiences.
Yeah,
and I'm
Xbox had a nice win last night.
Yeah, and I am very happy we got that wonderful Nintendo and Final Fantasy thing combo. I think
fucking Sephiroth. We all lost it.
We already won. People are just kind of pissed off that Sony didn't win everything. I don't give a shit. The idea is money, and money wins Microsoft. Sit down and shut up. Thank you.
Well, I agree with you on that, where the award itself was shit.
Yeah, like the awards in the categories.
Yeah, well, the awards to me are honestly just an entertainment spectacle to me. They're not really anything of importance, and I knew Last of Us Part 2 was going to win that Game of the Year. That makes sense.
I called it. I pretty much said, watch, it's going to fucking do it, and everybody's going to be pissed off.
But we got Master Chief in that Fortnite skin, and we are making bank. Goodbye. And I think the wonderful issue now is we're going to be curious how we combo all the servers and clouds together.
All right. Next on the list, Mr. Nelson. Tell it. Go ahead and unleash. Tell us your thoughts about last night.
Poke the bear.
Go ahead and give us that NFL play-by-play.
Sir, if you want an NFL replay back, you had to get Guardian because he was on top of that. You had to get him. So I'm sorry, sir. That's not what I'm gonna do tonight.
And that's what I'm saying. Like we were all pretty much upset yesterday.
Everybody
we were just fucking.
Send our wishes to Emmanuel. Hope he gets better.
Yeah,
He'll be able to join us tonight.
Yeah. So, but I'll say this though, because first of all, I'm gonna say this: Microsoft, in terms of what they put out, I have to say they did a good job. Let me start that real quick because I was getting ready to touch Last of Us, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna save that for my final thoughts.
Oh, you got the bear fired up now.
Okay, but in terms of what Microsoft
I'm the zookeeper walking away. I'm the zookeeper walking away. I left the cage door open. Oops, I forgot. I'm off the clock now. It's no longer my damn problem what the bear does. I don't care.
Yeah, there you go.
I was stiffed on my paycheck. I'm shoveling shit. I'm angry. I'm stanked. I'm hot. I'm pissed off.
Yep. There you go. Let the bear rage a little bit.
That's right. Yeah, let him walk around a bit. He likes balloons. Let him go over to the souvenir thing. But I'm sorry, Mr. Nelson. Go ahead.
No, you're absolutely fine. And I'll say, and another thing I will say too, I won't lie, I was a bit disappointed that we didn't see anything about Fable, but at the same time, that was a prediction. It wasn't necessarily confirmed to be there, so I can let that go. Now, in terms of something that did catch my eye, and I'm surprised to some extent, Mr. Fireballs, I didn't. Maybe you. I don't know where you were necessarily at that point. But when they were showing Scarlet Nexus, the fact that game, again, we might have to fact check this, but to my understanding, I'm not going to say it's an exclusive, quote unquote, but to my understanding, the impression that is given that it's going to be exclusive for the time being on the Xbox platform. Which caught me off guard.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a time exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that don't matter. That don't matter. We get it first. I don't give a shit.
Right. And something I will say is that definitely did put a smile on my face because that shows me there's evidence that it's possible. Like we've been talking on your podcast for the longest time now, is what is Microsoft doing to invoke these Japanese companies or these studios to get these kind of games onto the platform? And to see that, especially at the Game Awards, I definitely have to say that is personally my biggest highlight for Microsoft, personally.
Well, we got to also keep in mind also that this is Bandai we're talking about, and Bandai isn't on the same level, on the same bullshit mindset of say like Square. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're probably stacking a little bit higher than Square, and it's probably because of that mindset that they understand that they have an American market over here, and it's easier for Microsoft to approach them and spit it to them saying, hey, look, we got this thing called Game Pass, which also goes into this thing called xCloud. So all those what was the number last time, ODT, for the number of mobile users out on the market? Like,
was it over 14 million?
Yeah, so here it is. In the console space, it's only what, like 10 million. So get that 10 million.
What did you guys think about the Dragon Age 4? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
the Dragon Age 4,
the Dragon Age 4 reveal in your Perfect Dark Zero.
I think it's just Dragon Age. But hey,
it's
man,
it's Dragon Age 4.
But yeah, fucking Perfect Dark, like we were all like, me, Fireboss included, everybody was like, what the fuck is this? Like, whatever it is, it looks sweet as shit. And then I was like, wait a second. And then I knew it. And I said Perfect Dark. I was just like, yeah.
Everybody kind of just lost their marbles on Twitter when everybody saw that last night.
Yeah, no, that's great. There's tons of announcements. Definitely lose it too. There's tons of stuff.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
Perfect Dark needed return.
Now I'm going to nicely point out this. This is just my opinion, and I'm not a third person actual BR person, so you can take my opinion as just salt, or you can just take it as praise. I don't care.
Got the man with the
You
bag
got
of salt
the
on
green
duty.
boy with the Fortnite actual immersion. That's a good thing. Got the Blood Gulch match. You got Ninja coming on stage. That's awesome. Here's the difference, though. Third person ain't first person. Halo still is first person. So you can put it on the third person screen all you want. Halo is still FPS. But enjoy, wonderful millennials, because that Fortnite skin is yours, especially on Sony's wonderful platform. Now, if you put the Halo skin on Fortnite and you put the Fortnite in PS5s, what property is in that wonderful PS5 in that skin makes money? Boom, boom, boom.
Yep. Well, as I was saying earlier, though, is that it's easier for Microsoft to spin the whole scenario, the bigger picture, to say like Bandai than it is to like say like Square. So they're definitely going to be like, oh, okay, well, we'll let you get it first, because if you're talking about using this xCloud to get it to more people, not just over there in the Americas and in Europe, but also here in Asia, then that makes our net our net bigger.
Yeah, and it makes it worth more as well in different regions.
Yeah. So the thing is, in the long run, I'm hoping that a lot more developers over there start opening their eyes and realizing that, because the biggest complaint is always, especially over there, that we don't have enough eyes looking at our stuff. We don't have enough hands getting on our stuff. And, it's like, kudos to the Genshin Impact guys and everything like that, but that whole beating their chest and everything.
The gotcha game, man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you guys think about that Arc 2 reveal?
I saw fucking Vin Diesel and I didn't really.
Okay. We getting there, guys.
I'm just saying, man.
Let's rein it in. We getting there. Come on now. Good Lord. But no, but yeah, as I was saying, it's cooler than beating their chest and all that stuff, but the thing is, it's only going to get them but so far, because they're at like the 1 million players and stuff, and soon, before you know it, those investors are going to be like, well, 1 million could become 3 million if you consider this, and it's going to be kind of hard to talk down to your investor if they own a good chunk of your company and they're like, but we want more money.
Yeah,
I want my Cessna. I'm not talking about Flight Simulator. I'm talking about a real Cessna.
Oh my god!
All investors want is good entertainment being worth their money. That's all they.
Oh man, that Flight Simulator reveal, and only coming to Series X and S, because I feel like if you put that on regular Xbox One, I feel like it would explode.
Oh, I think they pulled back on that. They're
thinking about Halo, how it would explode on the regular Xbox
dude.
One.
I think what it is. I think it's Cyberpunk that's making everybody kind of rethink this stuff. Because apparently the base model Xbox.
The base model Xbox, but on Series X, this is not half bad. I will say that it's not half bad. I've played it on both PC and Series X. Obviously, I spent more time on PC because that's what I was playing on today. But
yeah, hey, what about you, Sam? You got it on PC yet?
Which one?
Cyberpunk.
Oh, I got it on PlayStation because
you got it on PlayStation.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, it's hard. It'll put your shit to work. I'm telling you right now, it'll put all your shit to work. The only reason why I'm actually semi-safe in this situation is because I have a 20 series RTX card, and that has DLSS, and that's the only thing that's saving me right now. Period.
Yeah, the reason why I got it for PlayStation was I ordered it 2 years prior.
When it first went, damn.
Yeah, and not only that, I got the graphics card later. And then I thought, maybe I should just cancel it. And then, it's actually more cheaper if I keep it on PlayStation. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to stay there.
I mean, I won't say, what methods I used to get it, but, it was still perfectly legal on PC. I got it for like $26 US.
Yeah, there's some deals
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, I got it. Yeah, so I got it on PC for $26 US, but I paid full price for my Xbox copy.
And it's a weird thing that everyone says, "Oh, online is always cheaper." Nowadays, like
No,
they're actually more expensive now.
no. And see, I wanted to get it for PlayStation, but I just thought against it last second. You know, I said it's gonna be better to play it on Xbox. Then the next gen update's coming in February, so it makes the most sense.
Not only that, but I start having issues with the control of PlayStation because now all of a sudden they decided to fall apart.
Which PlayStation are you referring to? The 4
PS4
or the 5?
controllers, they're
Oh, the 4.
notorious. They're
Oh
falling
yeah, no,
apart.
4 controllers fucking suck ass. I'll tell you that. 5 controller is leaps and bounds better. I'm not gonna deny that, but you know, still like the 4 controller just sucks ass. It really does.
Yeah, it's like it feels better than 3, but then you start using it, and you're like, why is it stop responding all of a sudden? And I got one for the 1 because I accidentally snapped the cable on the original 360 controller, which made me sad because how long the controller had lasted me. I was like,
Yikes.
oh, fuck. So I have to buy a 1 now.
Oh well, there you go. Just remember, buy a 1X if you plan on playing Cyberpunk on it at all.
I'm gonna buy the Series X.
Oh, okay, there you go. Well,
Yeah,
all right.
I got a
Damn, I'm
message
down.
today.
I'm down talking. You know, I won't deny and say it's not great. And for the record audience, I spent extra to get that thing in my home. You know, me and Boss went over this ODT.
I witnessed it.
Yeah, I paid extra for it. You know how much? How much extra? How much did I pay for it? $680. $680. That's how much I paid.
Oh,
get it in my house.
She cut you some slack. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she cut me some slack.
Some $20 slack.
Yeah, $20 slack. That's the lowest I was getting talked out.
Oh, yeah, there's actually a bonus thing that we will get on Xbox related to Cyberpunk, I found out. And that is the primary hero card you see in the trailers from Cyberpunk is going to appear in Forza Horizon.
It's out today, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe as of the announcement of the show, I believe the card that you're in the ads for Cyberpunk is now available in Forza.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that.
Well, Forza Horizon, I believe. I don't know about Motorsport.
No, it's only in Horizon.
Motorsport's not going to let you have fun like that. It's
I'm just saying. I'm kind of interested, low key, on how they'll change motorsport and like whether they'll like radically change it or just kind of once again do the same old usual swap here, swap there. But I'm thinking since this is just a full reboot and it doesn't even really have a number next to it,
From a few interviews months back that I've read, they are looking to even though they may say kind of shake things up, reinvent the formula a bit, it's still going to be at the end of the day, your typical racing simulator, because it's a racing simulator. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, how else can you improve on it? Because it's Forza. It owns the crown. As much as Polyphony wants to retake it, they're not going to get that crown back. Right. And I have a feeling that they're still not going to be able to get it back this time. But what they're trying to do, from what I'm understanding from that interview, is that they want to branch into other types of races. In other words, take a cue from Horizons, where you're not just doing track-based racing. You're now able to do stuff on like dirt tracks and off-roading and stuff like that.
Has anyone played Dirt 5 yet? Is that game like worth it, or like what's up? Because I see it's on sale, but do I really want to?
I heard that a lot of people bashed it to no end, but I never got around to try it. So,
so I couldn't answer that for you because I haven't tried it myself.
I might have to try that. Just I guess I can be the guinea pig.
Go ahead. Chew on that tripwire for us.
Someone's gonna have to do it.
Be like, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it. But
yeah, let me go ahead and get this car real fast.
all right. Well, all right. But moving along and stuff like that. A lot of the announcements that were in the video game awards and stuff like that, such as like Master Chief appearing in Halo. I mean, not Halo. I mean, of course Halo, but
Master Chief. I don't know. I think he's. I think
Yeah.
he may have just taken a summer off. It's fine.
leave it to Locke. He can take over.
Oh, don't say that.
But yeah, Master Chief appearing in Fortnite. We discussed this at the end of you guys' podcast, and I mean it's one of those things where it's like, does it do anything for me? Not really, because I don't play Fortnite, but it does kind of help push and promote the franchise to a lot of the more younger demographic that thinks only nothing but Fortnite and nothing else. So ODT, you already gave your thoughts about it. You're pretty gleeful about it.
I am, but that's because no one really believed it was going to happen at first.
Shoot. Hey, you I want to see if I'm the only person that's thinking this. So we got Kratos representing Sony for Fortnite. Yes. We got Master Chief. I heard a rumor of possibly Samus jumping into Fortnite.
Hey man, it'd totally be worth it. Fuck yeah,
that would actually be some love for that character because Nintendo is like new.
Might as well. I mean, they're not doing anything with it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
There's all this talk about Prime 4, but
dude, where's this fucking car? Oh my
God. You sound like somebody just not coming out of Walmart. Where's my car?
That's bad.
I'm just trying to find where do I find this thing?
Like use your key fob, man.
Come on, man.
You walked out of the wrong side of the store.
It'd be like that sometimes, man. It really do be like that.
Yeah, but hey, Sam, what was you thinking about it? About that announcement of Master Chief being in Fortnite?
I was actually a bit pleasantly surprised. Then again, you know me, I'd rather see Marcus Phoenix.
You know what?
Come on now. That would go against the Fortnite way.
Oh man,
dude, that awesome with that Lancer.
Dude, at that point, you might as well just put a bow on him. Just put a bow in his hair. Just call him Sally and just call it a day, man.
Oh man, what about you? What about you, Nelson?
Well, first of all, let me finish my thought from before.
Oh, I'm sorry about that too, man. I'm sorry.
No, you are all right. You're all right. First of all, just so y'all know, that usually I will go off than a motherfucker. Excuse me. Usually on the other the TD podcast, aka the Technical Difficulties podcast, but since we're on Boss's podcast, I don't want to be rude or crude like that unless needed.
Unleash! I told you, I'm walking away from the cage.
You walked away from the cage.
Matter of fact, I dropped the key already.
Okay. But in terms of my impression in regards to the whole debacle from last night, again, from Microsoft's side, I was pleased with what they put out. With Sony, I mean, what did you expect? So I can leave that go. Now, let me go ahead and touch on the elephant in the room. Last of Us 2. I'm going to be honest. In fact, before I even touch Last of Us 2, I'm just going to be honest. The one game, in my personal opinion, that I felt like got hold the most definitely had to be Ghost of Tsushima. Excuse me. And I said this too. Now, Tech, you remember when I said this, that before, I personally would not be against Last of Us 2 having at least one award. I wouldn't be against that.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? I put that on. I said that.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
record.
You did say it. You said it on record. You did.
Yes. Now I did also say this, that, and I was alluding to it, that if it got Game of the Year, to me, that wouldn't be right. And so the thing is this. First of all, and again, you know what? You can go ahead and you can have every other award that it won that night. Fine, so be it. But when it comes to game of the year, in my mind, I would think that should set precedence of what are the games that succeeded from beginning to end what they strived out to be. To me, if you look at Ghost of Tsushima, and that's not to negate any other of the nominees, but I want to just utilize Ghost of Tsushima as an example. When you have a game like that yes, it's not unique in the sense that all the mechanics are completely different, like you've never experienced before. Absolutely not. But they do it in a way, excuse me, that at the very least makes it feel like it's fresh to an extent. And it has a story that, yes, might not seem as impressive in the beginning, but as you're going along, you're really seeing the expansion of where this game is going. And not just that, also a reminder, y'all, the fact that they put out a multiplayer co-op for free, didn't have to pay nothing, for free update, along with other things. To me, that tells me, in my mind, just how much they cared about the game's success. Now, don't get it twisted. Ultimately, nevertheless, even if none of the games didn't get Game of the Year, they're still great games in their own right. And I'll say that also to, and I'm being serious, I'll even say that to Last of Us 2. Because someone out there are people who love that game to death. There's some people who don't fuck with that game. And I can understand to an extent on both ends. But at the end of the day, let's call a spade a spade. At the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, out of any other award to me that got hold or to an extent felt rigged, it has to be the Game of the Year. Because you're really telling me that Last of Us deserves that? Really? Again, I can let everything else go to an extent, but Game of the Year, I'm sorry. Personally, that's not me. And I'm not saying that purely from a subjective standpoint. I'm literally looking at it from an objective standpoint. Because again, if you really think about The Last of Us 2, it's a revenge story. There have been plenty of games that have gotten that formula down. So in my mind, I'm trying to, and again, it goes back kind of like similar to Ghost of Tsushima. We've had games like Ghost of Tsushima, but we have to look at from the beginning to the end. What did it achieve? What did it set out to be? So if you think about it like this, right? In fact, I'm gonna call on Relly real quick because he brought up something that is very interesting to me. That he enjoyed it for the most part, but it was up to the end that he didn't like. Because just like you said, Tech, what was the point? I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm just say this, y'all. It's like Ellie goes on this mission, and it's like you don't succeed in the mission in the end. But if you look at the protagonist within Ghost of Tsushima, he finishes what he started from beginning to end. And you felt a satisfaction from beginning to end when you were finally able to achieve your goal. And you had a bit of bittersweetness by the end because of how it goes. But nevertheless, at the end of the day, y'all, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, it's gone. It's happened. We can move along. It is what it is. Okay. Now to answer the Fireboss's original question now.
All right.
Oh no, you got to remind me. What was it?
Classic, Mr. Keep that bear in mind.
Wait, what's the question?
It was. I was just asking everybody's thoughts on Master Chief being in Fortnite, and
well, as I just pointed out, Fortnite is not FPS. Therefore, it's not real Halo. So you need to basically calm down. I'm happy for you though, because I tried so hard to get this done, and it's done. We get money, we get profit off wonderful ponies being off in that PlayStation Blood Gulch. Yay! But at the same time, it's not Halo. Third person isn't first person. I still consider Halo only FPS. That's just me. You can quander me with an RTS opinion if you wish, but just know that I must much rather consider a FPS shooter arena type of style. But millennials, Zoomers require third-person handicaps. Go right for it, but I'm going to warn you that if that's what you do, people are going to start to basically go like this.
Right. And
But
something interesting about that.
But I do
No, you
actually
go
want to. I do actually want to congratulate the Air Force esports team for the Call of Duty match today. They won, and congratulations to Space Force because that was epic to watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'll say this in terms of for the Master Chief situation. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's cool and all, but I mean, hey, you know what? If it gives more exposure to the series that, some people, let's say, Xbox don't
like
have to, try for themselves.
That is something that I'm going to have to learn to actually evolve over my little bit of a stigma. Doesn't mean I have to play it, though. That's kind of the catch
Right.
to it. Nice little story. So I might have had so much fun from Halo CE all the way up to 5 and Halo Infinite coming up next year. But, if I can just keep on my arenas of FPSs, I'll be golden for the rest of eternity. So I'll be just fine in a FPS style type of game. But I will never actually step into a third-person arena. I won't do that because it's unhealthy for me.
Right. Well, interesting you brought that up too, Reaper, is the
What
one thing
about
I
Gears?
will say that to finish my thought on this,
Same
one
thing.
thing. Yeah, the one thing I will
I
say.
actually predate Gears, so I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was saying
All right,
to finish my
But
thought.
yeah, go ahead, Nelson. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Well, to finish my thought and what just Reaper just brought up is the only thing that I can see as a con to this that I'm not gonna say it's going to be a major issue. It'll just be very annoying. Is that if you have people who, they've heard about Master Chief, they've seen Master Chief, but this is the first time they've, I guess, quote unquote,
Yeah,
will have a chance to be familiar with.
what's going to end up happening, especially if you don't actually unlock the licensing of the 343 concept, and all the PlayStation fans actually finally get to try out, that in the actual Fortnite match, and they actually want to try the actual game, for example, you're going to have to unlock the actual licensing. What happens then? People just gonna drop their PS5s and go buy a Series X? I mean, I hope so. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? But yeah, I don't think.
Right.
That.
I mean,
I don't
at
think
the end of
PlayStations
the
are that easily, swayed
at
to
the end
buy
at the end of the day,
platform.
for like PS5, because I can even like shed some light on this. I even considered selling my PS5 at one point because I was like, you know what, played Spider-Man, I'm done for right now. As far as I considered, I'm done. That's what I got the console for. I could just eat it out of here and not think about it twice, right? And that's $500 in my pocket, which is what I was going to sell my console for. To a friend of mine, of course. I'm not scalping it. I'm throwing in extra stuff with it. I'm not being a dick, all right? But, just to wrap up my quick thoughts here, so Mr. Nelson can get back to his, it's just that it's personal preference. At the end of the day, it's your console, so you decide what you want to do with it. If you feel like it's not worth it anymore, or if you just didn't like it in the first place, but you just bought it just to get it, then that's on you. That's your choice. That you run your own life.
Yeah. No, I mean, I mean, doesn't mean I'm not going to play anything because I play stuff every single day. But I'm more of a the first person only type of style than anything else.
I feel you.
You can throw an RTS if you want to give me a brain teaser, or if you really want to make me sit on the floor for about 2 hours, you can give me an actual RPG or JRPG, which is also really fun. But give me the arenas and I'll be fine. It's kind of just a matter of evolution, really. People keep trying to remind everybody that the evolution of gamers keep going up. Because I actually tuned into the pre-show and I listened to the Dr. Phil and the AMD Lisa and wonderful EA, and the fact that we get Medal of Honor for our first VR FPS is awesome. And now they all want to sue Facebook because it's going to make them more money.
All right, well, let's go ahead and all right, for the last time, let's go ahead and let Mr. Nelson wrap up. Because when he gets on the tangents, I hate to derail him so much.
Where'd Nelson go?
Nah, I'm just waiting and see if there's another motherfucker. I gotta wait to interrupt my goddamn thought.
No, you can talk now.
No. Because boss gave me Oh, go ahead, wild out. The next motherfucker right now who interrupts my goddamn dog, I'm gonna go in your asshole. I don't give a fuck. All right, let me say my goddamn piece, motherfucker. Anyhow, to finish my goddamn dog, before we move on to this bitch, is going back to what Reaper has said. The only issue I can see at this moment going from this deal is if you introduce or let's say you introduce a property that people are not familiar with in a certain setting that they're not used to, what can happen is somewhere down the road, let's say if they decided, okay, I like this skin, I want to know more about this character. Oh, he comes from the Halo franchise. Okay, let me look up the Halo franchise. What is that on? Okay, that's on Xbox platform. You know what? I might go ahead, not even get an Xbox. I can even get Game Pass. There you go. Now you're playing it, but let's say because you got the impression, oh, it might be a third person shooter I might get into, when it comes to first person, it's like, okay, you've played first person shooters before, but let's say you try to take the concept of Fortnite and try to say, oh, why don't the people over here doing Halo, why don't they try to implement what Fortnite is doing and try to implant that into there? That's the only issue I can see, because I'm not against any kind of franchise evolving into something different than what it started necessarily, but you still have to have the fundamental elements that made it where it was still at the base, so it don't crumble. Hold up, motherfucker. I ain't done, goddammit. All right? Calm down. I ain't done.
Let him go ahead and finish.
Almost done. Almost done. Goddammit. All right? I'm not going to cuss you out, sir, but I'm trying to warn you now. Now, to finish my thought. Going in the future, I would be very interested in seeing what other kind of deals from other pre-existing properties from Microsoft could find themselves in other games or in other marketplaces through, promotional deals and what have you. Because you know what? Here's the thing. I was just going to toss this out there. It's not that far-fetched that maybe somewhere down the road, we might get someone from a Microsoft franchise possibly getting into Smash. You never know. And see how that can trickle down to other platforms and other game consoles, or even crossover events. That's something to think about. Even with Final Fantasy 15, 15. They had that crossover with Assassin's Creed. So it's not impossible to see these kinds of franchises. If they do it correctly, we can definitely see an expansion within the franchise and also new blood coming in. Let's just hope it's not tainted blood. And I'll end my thoughts on that.
All right. Yeah, and kind of just add along with it, and then let ODT jump in real quick before we move on to the next one, is that in its own way, in form, Halo is kind of evolving, because I mean what we've seen with the gameplay with that they showed back in July, it's becoming open world. Well, I mean, most of the levels and spaces in Halo, usually from what I've been seeing, have been kind of open to some degree. But now looking at it, it's almost giving me those vibes of like Just Cause, especially now that you got a grappling hook. So I'm just kind of really interested in knowing just how much more they're going to do and go with it. But going along with what Nelson was saying, my one fear is having that camp that drifts over this direction, all of a sudden, talking up like, I think this will sell so much more if you guys go ahead and completely change it and overhaul it into something that it's really not, intended to be. Yeah, let's make it third person. Let's do third person. Well, Microsoft already has a third person shooter. But the thing is, even though I say that, the next topic, another topic we're going to get into, it's funny that I'm saying what I am about Halo doesn't need to be a third person. You're going to see me have something, different thoughts regarding another topic, but we're going to move on. But what was you going to add along, ODT?
Well, no, I was just merely going to add. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see it evolve, because even I am going to stop playing it. So I would like to see how the new generations enjoy this new version of Master Chief and the quest to save the world. But I'm just saying that the core values of anything that makes a genre should stay that way. So if it's a first-person genre, keep it that way. If it's a third-person genre, keep it that way. But all the other concepts that go with the game can be changed or can be evolved or can be adapted, whatever you choose. Like the open world aspect, for example, is one of those things. And the Gears of War comparison, for example, that's not really a third-person shooter. It's a third-person cover shooter is what it is. Okay?
Yep.
And then the new one that's coming out, the exclusive one, I forgot what that one is actually called, but that actually looks really dope, and I actually am looking forward to actually trying it. I'm not saying I'm going to actually beat it, but it looks cool.
A new third-person cover shooter?
No, the new third person, I think from the trailer, the way it says is it's like the idea is to actually attack the enemy and not hide from them. Your body is a weapon. I can actually find the trailer somewhere, but I forgot what the actual game was actually even called.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which one that is. But moving along, because we are going to go try to go through a few of those. But like I said, I'm still trying to keep it a little short tonight. But okay, when everybody saw the trailer start up, who in here already knew right off the bat that it was Perfect Dark before they even showed the title?
To be honest with you, I did not know at all, because I had played some of the previous Perfect Dark entries, but I was not like a mega fan. I did, obviously I didn't know right off the bat.
Now,
I've been a family person that has actually watched their family actually play that old school game, and I've actually been aware of how it's been the original FPS creation for Microsoft. And I know that's actually Phil's one of Phil's favorite genres.
Yeah, the dead giveaway for me was when it zoomed in on the city, and then it started like profiling all the people walking around on the street, and then went to being like a drone flying around all over the place, still scanning and profiling. That's when it dawned on me. And plus, also there was the concept artist that they leaked some concept art of that was supposedly working on it. Well, he's working on that and something else. So for those of you out there who are like, throwing a pissy fit about like, oh man, I wish they did something new. They're supposed to do a brand new IP. Well, for those of us who wanted Perfect Dark, guess what? We're getting Perfect Dark. But if you wanted that brand new IP, guess what? Supposedly the word is there's 2 teams of the initiative. So they are working on your brand new IP also. So yeah, so there you go. But this guy is supposedly doing concept work for both of those. And that city, that street scene where it's like flying through, profiling everybody, I was like, holy crap, that looks like one of the leaked concept pictures and stuff. And then it got up to the top and went to and that's when you saw that organization's logo. And I was like, wait a minute, that looks very familiar. And I was like, oh crap, this is Perfect Dark. This is it. And when it showed it, I was like, yes. So I'm happy. I'm relieved, because everybody kept bouncing stuff around first. Oh, it's a Perfect Dark reboot. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, it's not Perfect Dark. It's based in the Perfect Dark universe. And yeah, and it's like, come on, man. The majority of everybody's looking for Perfect Dark. So why y'all want to pussyfoot like that? What's going on? So I'm glad that they went ahead and they're delivering what I think is the stronger majority wants, which is that Perfect Dark reboot. But going back to what I was saying, that contrary to what I was saying about Halo being made a third person, I guess I was kind of hoping that they would have kind of shook things up with this one, because the IP has been dead. I mean, compared to Halo, Perfect Dark has been dead for over a decade, and I was really hoping for a reimagining where it would go to being third person. And since they supposed to been, I guess, like working hand in hand with the coalition as far as the shooting mechanics go, I was thinking it was going to borrow a bit of Gears, where you're going to have that cover shooting mechanic going on with a light little mix of Tomb Raider style parkour and stealth, because that would have like satisfied those who were chomping at the bit for a new Splinter Cell. Because
oh my god! Don't get me started on Splinter Cell. All right,
I'm kind of still waiting for that reveal.
Don't start it. Look, all right, you're gonna wish you never did. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, don't start with me in Splinter Cell. Okay, just you don't want to go there, bud.
Well, you're more positive than I am. The first I saw the Dark One, I was like, oh no, another Ubisoft title.
Nah, if I ever see a new Splinter Cell game, I'm gonna like do my best to not, break everybody like down and slam everybody down on the curb just to get it. I'm just saying. I don't care. I don't care at this point, because if they give me a Splinter Cell game, that's one of the things I want. Damn it.
Yeah, well, for me, I was actually thinking, oh, this is gonna be a new Assassin's Creed.
You know what? And like honestly, like Assassin's Creed, like the only one that I didn't think was complete dog shit that I've been playing recently, which is obviously part of the Series X review that we plan on doing on the podcast, is the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I've been playing that, and that's the only one that I can say I might actually see through to the end.
How are you liking so far from what you're doing?
So far, I've played. I have about 5 hours in game time on Assassin's Creed. So we finished the prologue, which is basically just obviously getting set up. Now I'm in the second area that you go to in the game, and so far from what I've seen, I might actually see it through to the end, because it doesn't punish you for going loud, which I always thought was a big flaw about any Assassin's Creed. I can have all these badass weapons and shit, but I cannot go loud. I'll be punished for it. Same thing. The reason I don't like Hitman, because if I shoot a random fucker, I'm automatically gonna get punished
Hitman
for it.
It's not AC though. I mean, Hitman.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about like I don't want to be punished for going loud if I go loud.
Yeah, no, you want to be able to do the mission how you choose.
Yes, exactly.
That's how anybody should be able to play.
Right. That's kind of why I was also hoping that the initiative would have been trying with this new Perfect Dark. So I'm withholding my final judgments until I see the gameplay.
We'll see, because we're probably not going to get it for at least like another 2 years, man. If that. Yeah, probably not. We'll have to see, because from what I'm understanding, it's been in a playable form, I guess, since the beginning of this year. Because remember, supposedly Phil flew out there and tried it out. So it must be in some sort of a playable form. But even though I say playable form, that doesn't mean it's ready to ship. That just means that he was able to try a demo level. And I mean, dude, level design is no joke. Yeah, it can make or break the game pretty much instantaneously.
Yeah. So but what about you, Nelson? Did it all of a sudden jump out at you that this was Perfect Dark?
Well, to be honest with you, I think I might have touched Perfect Dark only once in my life, and that was like when I was real, real young. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what they do with it. And I do agree with you too, boss, is we definitely have to wait until we see gameplay and see ideally the style they want to go with in terms of gameplay. But I'll say this though. I'm interested in seeing just in terms of are they going to try to approach it in a way where, okay, we're going to take pre-existing ideas and just improve them to fit the universe? Or are they going to try to approach it as we're going to do something completely new with this game? Or let's say we're going to introduce new concepts and new mechanics that's never been done before, and we're going to utilize this IP as essentially the foundation. Like for instance, like if you've ever played Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War, to this day, it's a shame to me that I don't see a lot of developers or anyone at all at this point in time that has not utilized the concept of the Nemesis system.
thing.
Yeah, the Nemesis system is badass.
Right.
This is
Shadow
actually
of War is actually one of my
one-
favorite games of last generation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that run.
that
And
is
the thing is
War
this,
badass.
I think that going forward, I would love to see more ideas like that implemented in games. That I'm not saying that you couldn't take other pre-existing ideas and do a unique spin on them, but when you have an opportunity to try something that's never been done before, I love to see that go into the next generation. And what I would also say is this: is that and I know this is not necessarily Perfect Dark related, but it's like this: if you took that concept and you introduced into the Arkham Knights or Gotham Knights, excuse me, that game, to me, just imagine how much that would just influence your way of playback. Because just imagine, just a low, right? It would think about it like this: every time you replay the game, you'll have a different experience of just different antagonists or crime bosses that rank up over time, and you have a unique sense of connection with them. To me, it would fit perfectly in a game like that. But if it doesn't happen, don't get it twisted. This is something that, hold on, who was it? Either it was Hebot or Sega Man who brought this up, is that, yes, the thing that can get these developers in trouble with their games is they don't understand how to really properly limit themselves in terms of their scope, or say with the technology that's provided with their means to create this medium. So that's the thing. I'm hoping that whatever they want to do with Perfect Dark, that they're grounded in what they're doing and they don't overstep their boundaries. Because I would not want this game to, by all means, fail. But I wouldn't want them to be afraid to push the boundaries of what they're trying to get. Hopefully, everything goes well. But like we've said, like I was saying before earlier, the worst case scenario is possible to happen. It is. So cross my fingers, but that's all I have to say on that point.
Well, supposedly the word is they are trying to do some new interesting things with it, and looking at a lot of the concept work, especially during the show last night. I'm curious as to how they're going to do some of this stuff, especially if it's going to be in third person. But Sandy, yeah, was you getting those vibes that this is Perfect Dark when you saw that trailer pop up?
What Perfect Dark has been plot-wise and structure-wise, and what it tries to do is there's another series that does the same thing, but their gameplay-wise totally different, and that is Deus Ex. And Deus Ex is like, it throws everything, even the kitchen sink, and plot-wise. And Perfect Dark did the same. And to me, that is what is so refreshing with Perfect Dark, and it has the ability to do whatever they want. I still hope that it will go. What I would see is the immersive route, Deus Ex, stuff like that. But that is too expensive. Everybody does it. They always lose a lot of money.
My name's
So,
Athena, and we're
I suspect it
besties
will
high
go
school.
a generic shooter route, and I would be perfect fine if it's well made.
Stacy called me and told
Oh,
me
is somebody watching TV?
married.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh,
I got it turned down now.
okay, all right. But now go ahead, Sandy.
Yeah, it's very difficult because Perfect Dark, I loved the first game until I started playing at high difficulty and I realized the AI was a bit busted. But I think that it has a lot of potential. It probably will not be what I want it to be, but I hope they might hint at it.
Yeah, and it's funny you brought up the AI because I kind of remember that as well. And this goes along with what Nelson was saying just now regarding AI. From what I understand, I mean, with this new hardware, the tools is there. With DirectX 12 Ultimate, the tools are there. But as I can't remember his name, but the other guy that along with Jason Ronald helped engineer the Series X and S during the Hot Chips presentation in the interview, he did state that this was one of his biggest fears, that they have all these tools and all this power, and his biggest fear is that there's going to be no developers aside from them in the first party that's going to make use of this stuff. Because if you want better AI and still be able to retain like 60 frames per second with ray tracing and everything like that, he's like, it's all there. But the biggest problem is whether or not they're going to want to sit down and learn the stuff, because like he was basically going off about like machine learning. There's more to it than just graphical upscaling. This can actually like help improve AI. He was like, you believe it. And another thing, which somebody actually got into an argument with me about it, is that he even quoted that ray tracing can also help AI as well. And I had to link the interview to the guy. But yeah, ray tracing can also be used for audio as well. Whereas basically he was stating that, imagine if you made a game and this could fit perfectly for Perfect Dark, being that it's a spy espionage stealth type game. Well, providing you're using the stealth mechanics, whereas ray tracing, the light, you really are dealing with real life light, real life shadow, not baked in shadow. So you really have to make sure that you're really paying attention to where the sun is or the shadows are. And ray tracing can be used for audio. Whereas just like light rays are sent out, audio waves can be sent out. And he's like, yeah, you really got to pay that stuff attention. But he's like, but my biggest fear is nobody's going to use it. So yeah. I'm hoping.
I'm gonna make the assumption that it's not that no one will use it; it's no one knows how to use it.
Well, that's
how to use it because no one wants to learn, as he very well said.
Yeah, and that's that, and see, the thing is, that's also my fear as well. So it's a good thing that Microsoft put up the money to send out teams to a lot of these developers to help them get a better grasp of everything, because they really were behind the curve, which I'm not cursing them out for. I know a lot of people are giving them hell for it, but to me it's like, let's see, have a half-baked chip or have a full RDNA 2 chip with a lot more extra feature sets that could be used for the long term. Yeah, I think I'd rather the long-term option very much.
Yeah, so that is what I can see from development standpoint is I've seen so many, when you see new tech, we've seen it before. The CD was a perfect one. Like, oh, we have this data, we should do it. FFB, Bethesda, we're going to have these new consoles, new hardware. We're doing it. Just made the rendering so far that you cannot even see the details, and the AI is still bonehead stupid.
Yep. And I mean, and the thing is, to be fair, also, Sam, I mean, because both you and me know this, is that also is the deal with the investors as well. Yeah. And matter of fact, it's funny because, Nelson brought up Hebot. Hebot, spoke passionately about this. It damn sure comes down to the investors as well. If you're a bigger developer or studio, because EA and Activision are like the biggest culprits of this, whereas they have a schedule. Once they push something out, they got to move to the next thing, and they'll leave like a skeleton crew behind to patch whatever else is, remaining for what they just put out. But we can go on about that. But let's move on to the next one, for what everybody I know is waiting to talk about, the Dragon Age trailer.
I actually thought that was actually pretty good, actually.
At first, we thought it was Turok. Wasn't it?
Oh no! You think
I
about
thought that Arc 2 was actually
Yeah.
Turok.
Yeah,
Yeah,
R2.
that's what you're thinking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we thought R2 was Turok. We were all just sitting there like, the hell is this game, man?
Yeah, and see the thing is that well, just real quick with my thoughts about the about Dragon Age is I played through and beat Inquisition, and it's one of those games where it's like, I don't know if I'll care about a new one or not, but I don't know. I guess I have to see what else they got to show with this one, but even though they didn't have a number after it, it's definitely a 5 coming after Inquisition, because what's his name, the elf who becomes your enemy, well, shoot, I didn't mean to give that away, but basically he's in the trailer and it's like, wait a minute, this must take place after Inquisition or something.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so why they didn't put a number there is beyond me.
The trailer kind of hinted at it being like a standalone that you play only one character, because it gave a lot of Styx and Thief vibes.
Yeah.
So maybe you're an assassin of some kind.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a trailer, and I want to see more before I can really formulate, more of a stronger opinion. But real quick about the whole Vin Diesel thing. Vin Diesel's
all
always
about the family now.
Yeah, I mean, Vin Diesel is shocking. A lot of people didn't even know that Vin Diesel was a game developer himself, and of course, a big D&D nerd. He's still knee deep in it. Loves his role playing games, and it was shocking to see him in there, because the first thing, because y'all remember me saying it during the TD podcast during the show, was that holy crap, he's back into it. He's back into game development again, because why else would his mug be in a game unless he's the one that's probably spearheading it, only to find out that, oh no, this is not his deal. This is Arc 2, because the whole time I was going on about like, holy crap, this is the Turok reboot. Because remember, there's been a rumor. Yeah, there's been a rumor about Turok is supposed to be getting rebooted, and that's the first thing that jumped in my head was, holy crap, don't tell me Vin Diesel is going to be Turok.
That would be actually kind of cool.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. So with this Arc 2 thing, I'm gonna leave my thoughts at it. Is my only.
You have to make the Arc an actual open world Minecraft before you made it a story.
Like they're giving it a story. Like, I'm so confused about that.
and that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering. It's like, so with this, what are y'all doing? Are y'all like, is this a complete sequel that's the same formula as the first one, but
is
better?
it a Titanfall 2?
Or is this going to be
supposedly we're about to say a Titanfall 3? It's supposed to be in development.
Yeah, or is this game going to be a straightforward linear story campaign, or is it just going to be a mix of the two, where you have that campaign but you also have that multiplayer aspect? I mean, I need to see more.
I'd be kind of curious if you keep the new story arc, like also keep the open world essence as it already is. It might just be a little bit more graphically enticing.
Yeah, I think it might be a mix, mostly because like I've seen it before, like this open world, but it has a narrative that goes through the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nelson, you got some thoughts on this, man?
Hold on. Now, you talking about the Arc 2, or are we talking about the
Dragon Age and Arc 2?
Dragon.
I mean,
okay. Yeah. Well, let me start with Arc 2. Now, I'm not gonna lie. The more you guys were bringing up about the possibility that it was going to be a Turok reboot, because the thing that I never played any of the entries beforehand, but I've seen like a walkthrough of it, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I can see where y'all are coming from, but then I never touched Arc, So, I mean, at the end of the day, for people out there who enjoy Ark, I mean, I hope that Ark 2 provides just what you love about the series, or excuse me, well, the franchise, and they,
I hope you like Vin
supply
Diesel's
you with
fighting dinosaurs. That's gonna be cool.
right. You get all that you want in the game. That's really all I can really say on that point. But in terms of Dragon Age, honestly, first of all, I know some people feel a certain type of way about Inquisition, and what's funny? I could say that, and this is why this is kind of like tying back to something I talked about when I was speaking about Last of Us 2. On both ends, I can understand why there are people who do not like or extremely dislike Last of Us 2, and there's a point where I can understand why you loved it. I'm the same way with Inquisition. I personally love it, but I understand why people did not like it. That doesn't stop me from enjoying the game, but I can objectively say I get why you feel that you have that feeling towards the franchise or how it's been handled over the years. I can understand that. So honestly, with the news that there are certain individuals who left BioWare just these past few weeks, to me, I'm not going to say that because of that, I'm nervous that the game is not going to turn out well. But what I will say is that, it's possible that going in the future, depending on what they do with it, I'm not going to say it's going to make or break me in terms of my enjoyment with the franchise necessarily. And I also, just to let y'all know too, is I never played Dragon Age, the first one, the Origins. I played Dragon Age 2. I played Dragon Age Inquisition. Those are the only two ones I've played. But I enjoyed both of them. Now, here's my thing about it, that I would say that I'm looking forward to see if they're going to implement this, because they did it in an extent with Inquisition, and I would love to see if they could further develop this going into the next one or to the next entry. Is this, if you have like for instance, if you have someone who's going to be a tank, traditionally speaking, tanks are to take damage, right? But let's say if there's a way where you could customize the way you want a tank to be. Do you just want a tank to be bulky, or do you want a tank to be somewhat of a mixture between defense and being kind of like a glass cannon for certain situations? So let's just say like this, right? Just to paint y'all a quick picture, because I really have been thinking about this for a few years, ever since I finished my damn near my I ain't gonna say my 12, my 6th run through of Inquisition, because I thought to myself, what could they do to further improve this game or this franchise in terms of the mechanics they already have implemented within it? And I thought to myself, hold on, if you have an enemy that, okay, let's say a dragon that's a fire dragon is weak to ice, right? Let's say if you can have enough magic, right, that is, frost abilities on a specific part of the body. Let's say you have a tank. They have a unique ability where they can essentially shatter certain body parts if they meet a certain criteria. I would love to see an idea like that. Let's say if you hit the arm, they do the ability, they shatter the arm's gone. And it changes the way the fight now has to, how it'll evolve over time if you take that advantage. I would love for that because I feel like they can do it. But I can understand that, again, it may not be perfect, but I wouldn't want to discourage them from trying to see if they can do it. So that's really my biggest, in terms of gameplay, that's my biggest concern, to see if they're going to do that or not. Now, if they don't do it, I will say that it's going to be a bit of a waste, because it's like, I know y'all can do it. And maybe you may not have the people ideally in terms of what you're trying to get, but they're out there. I know they're out there. But now, in terms of story, I mean, at the end of the day, right now, it's really a toss up in the air for me, because I don't know what they're going to do with it next necessarily. Now, I'll say this. One idea I would like for them to do is, because I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone who ever wants to. I have to say, hold on. I would encourage y'all to go try out Dragon Age Inquisition for yourself. But there's a specific point in time in the story that you go to a specific location that is reverted back over and over within the franchise. And it implements that you are able to get to that place once, you could do it again. And there's a specific place that's important to lore that I'm interested if they're going to bring that up and actually make a major point within the next entry. Like, I'm not going to spoil it, but if they do that, I would love to see how that would go. But I'll end my thoughts on that.
All right. And Tech, you want to add anything else to that?
Now, as far as Dragon Age goes,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, once again, I wasn't really one to play Dragon Age because, once again, arachnophobia. I played Dragon Age 2, and I saw like the big ass spiders, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm done. No, I think I'm good. You know, I don't need to play it no more. It's good. But I did play part of Inquisition. You know, yes, there were still spiders, but they weren't nowhere near as life looking like they were in 2. Now, as far as I never finished Inquisition, but I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to jump back into it. Maybe, you know, if I don't know if it's on Game Pass, you know, if it was given out with Games with Gold or whatever. If I have it, I may have to take a peruse to my catalog. But that being said, as it was touched on earlier, with the whole thing of the devs beforehand leaving for Mass Effect, not just Dragon Age, but also Mass Effect. You know, it's up in the air. Will I play it? I don't know. You know, maybe you have to convince me whether the game is worth my time. Because at the end of the day, you know, I got a full-time job. You know, I got responsibilities to take care of. When I game, I want it to be, you know, time that's worth it, and that's what I feel that Cyberpunk is so far. You know, I feel like it's time that's worth spending, because like me and Nelson was talking about plenty of times before, you know, time is different. You don't get that back. You know, you just chalk it up to whatever and you move on, right? So yeah, I mean, if the game, I feel like the game is worth my time, and if I'm personally excited about it, or if it appears on Game Pass or what have you, then yeah, I'll try it. But you know, I can't promise anything. Like, I haven't played any of the other games in the series like that. So, I mean, we just got to see. We'll wait. I'll wait until I see more. How about that?
Yep. And that actually, and wait until we see more. That also brings us into the next one, because it's funny you brought it up, and that's the trailer for the Mass Effect. So to me, I look at it and I'm like, you know, why even bother showing it? I know you want to sit there and say like, oh, it's still alive. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if you're not really going to like show anything that's more concrete, then, you know, you could have just saved that for the next, E3 or something like that, where you could have had a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm guessing a lot of people, they probably did this because they wanted to, I guess, quell some of the fears due to these big key guys leaving those teams. So I don't know that. I mean, those are my thoughts. I mean, but ODT, what are your thoughts about that teaser for the Mass Effect?
I actually did not see that teaser. Someone actually on my Facebook actually mentioned that to me today, and I have not actually watched it. I'm not a big Mass Effect fan. I do play the games. What was the last one? Mass Effect Andromeda. Didn't I beat that in under like 12, 15, 30 hours or some shit like that? I forget. I know I speedrun that game, but you know, it's an RPG game to me. The 1, 2, and 3s were always my little brother's favorite games to play, not mine.
All right.
I did play Andromeda though. Andromeda was fun.
All right. Well, what about you, Sam? Because I remember you was pretty big into Mass Effect.
Well, I started on the first one, never got around on the second two. I still have them on the Xbox. So I thought, we're gonna give them a time, probably on the Series X and stream it. But when I heard what happened to Andromeda, I was like, yeah, maybe I'm only gonna stay with the 3 first games.
I mean,
shit, this is a dumpster fire.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that.
Yeah, no, it like, and see, here's the thing. For me, Andromeda was you know, from what I
A
played
lot of
of
people
it,
called Andromeda trash, broken. I had no problem playing it.
from what I played of it, you know,
What
for me personally, what I can speak, what I played, because I played about, I want to say maybe half the game before I just, like chucked it wherever and just never looked at it again. But I will say that like it was okay, but like Nelson said, I can see where people will get really pissed off at this game. I was not super hardcore in the Mass Effect, but I played part of 2. I finished 3, and I played part of Andromeda. But my sister was the one who was really into Mass Effect, and she hated Andromeda with a passion. Like, oh my god, she would not be quiet about it at all.
Wasn't
So
that game also designed to be gender equal and made a sexy race?
Oh my god, don't. You're gonna open up a whole can of worms.
First I was like, oh my god, what is that? Where's my flamethrower?
Oh man.
So in other words, I guess you could say Andromeda is kind of like what GT is to the Dragon Ball universe.
I guess you could.
Just wash your hands of it.
I guess you could. But that depends on who you ask.
Yeah, that's true.
But what are your thoughts about that reveal trailer, Mr. Nelson?
Well, it's the same. See, that's the thing. It's like the Dragon Age trailer and the Mass Effect trailer were essentially the same when you think about it. It's like, yes, you showed that you showed that obviously you still have interest in the franchise. That's cool. But again, it goes back to the whole concept of what are you showing us in the long run? Like, I'm not like, for instance, I would say that it's like going back to what you just said, boss. It's like, yeah, it was cool to show a trailer for Mass Effect, but it's like, why not show what you worked on with the Mass Effect trilogy? And here's my thing now. If you did the trilogy, and let's say if you showed that snippet somewhere down in the middle, not the middle, but by the end of it, showing that, oh, there possibly is a continuation after the main trilogy, that isn't, well, here's the thing. I'm not sure, because you got to remind yourselves that assumingly by the end of the trailer, they're showing Dr. T'Soni or Liara. Now, the thing is, how old was she in the game? I know she should be below 200 years old. And you got to remind yourselves, if you never played the game, Liara is essentially a part of a race called the, goddamn, what they call it again? Hold on, it's been a minute. The Asari. And they can live up to 1,000 years old. So here's the thing. Is it possible that what they were showing in that little teaser trailer, is it possible that they took a certain canon time, a certain point in time within the canon ending of the trilogy, and they said, okay, let's take that concept and let's forward it. You don't ever know, like maybe 100 years later, 200, 300. Again, you got to remember, if you ever played Andromeda, 200 years passed when they went to the Nether Galaxy. So you never know what may happen back in the original trilogy off from that point, because you never know how they may try to connect it. I can honestly see them try to do it. And again, I wouldn't be opposed for them to do it, but it's like, don't bite off more than you can chew is my concern. When it comes to both Dragon Age and Mass Effect, it's like, okay, cool, you want to continue, that's fine. But this goes back to my concern when it came to Andromeda. I played Andromeda. I've enjoyed it for the most part for what it was. But again, it goes back to the same thing like I was saying before. I understand why some people liked it. I understand why some people hate it. Now, the thing is this. Going forward, I just want to see what they're going to do with the trilogy in terms of remastering it. I want to see how does it work? How does it function? Okay, let's get that out of the way first before you show me anything else about continuation. Let's just get that done first. Same thing when it comes to Dragon Age. Show me what you're actually putting out there first before you try to hype us about, oh, we have all this and that and the third. It's like, let's just see. Just play place 1 foot forward before you try to leap 10 feet forward. Just take one step and let's just see where your feet land. That's just how I am for the most part, and I have my thoughts on that.
All right. Okay. Keeping it moving along. Everybody, what was everybody's thoughts with that flight simulator trailer that was supposedly captured on Series X?
Maybe I'll actually be able to play it, because I have a PC that's capable of playing it, but it stresses because of all the real time data and all the high res textures and everything like that. It literally will push my computer to the limit. It's another Cyberpunk, Like I can't like what can I do about it? Nothing. I just have to adapt and evolve. But I mean, I'll be down to definitely play it. Hopefully I can actually take off this time. I just don't know how they're gonna simplify, or if they already have all the complicated controls of a plane and like everything that's needed to take off to the controller.
Yeah, I mean they can and they have before, but there's actually a few companies, one in particular which I posted about on my Reddit and stuff, called Honeycomb, that they're actual professional aviators, and that's what they specialize in, is making aviation peripherals for game consoles, and they are making a specialized package, which is the flight yoke and throttle and pedals, and plus the little like the little switches and dials and stuff like that.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the controls. Yeah, they're actually making a setup for that. Now, how much it's going to cost, I don't know, because most people who I've seen
a grip and a half, man. A grip and a half. Look at Logitech.
Yeah. So yeah, but to me, it's great to see that there's companies looking to do that instead of just giving us the usual flight stick and throttle thing, the fighter stick and stuff. So it's actually good to see that. But looking at it, I'm curious as to know what optimizations they're going through, because I'm really feeling that this is probably going to be, us getting to see direct ML and especially direct storage really getting put to good use. And of course, definitely I think there's going to be a lot of cloud computing going on with this as well. But yeah, I'm real curious to see.
Cloud computing is the next big adventure, I have to admit, for Microsoft and everybody included. That includes AMD, that includes Google, that includes iPhones, that includes everything. Because everybody's going to soon get off the couch and be practically out in space.
Hey, wait a minute. You didn't name Sony.
That's because Sony not going to be around for very much longer, I don't think, if we can actually get this done correctly. I mean, they'll be around, but just in name or just practically what you're watching on a screen.
But yeah, I mean, but what was your thoughts about seeing that trailer, ODT?
Well, the flight simulator actually has to do a lot with the work on the 343 engine, so I'm actually kind of excited to see how that pans out in the end.
Oh, slip space?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot, I didn't know that. Well, another thing also, just to kind of go along with that jumped out at me was the date, and I was like, whoa, this thing is not as close as me and a lot of people was actually thinking it would be. Because a lot of people, including myself, was really under the impression that it was going to be like within launch window, and this thing is not in launch window. So
is it still being in development?
No. It's been in development for a while. I mean,
it's been in development for a while, since the beginning of Halo Infinite. So it's been it's been a combo package issue on Microsoft and 343 side at least.
Yeah, them, and don't forget Asobo, because Asobo's the ones that's doing it, the flight simulator. But San, your thoughts about seeing Flight Simulator coming to the Series X?
Yeah, I was actually a bit surprised by that, because this is a game that's pretty much defined what you could do on PC. And when that version of the game came out on PC, everyone was like, "Holy crap, it looks good!" And it was all that cloud system and how they naturally render the lightning, which makes it look so good. And I'm actually curious to see how they solve it, if they're going to use a cloud service or if they're using a stream texture system. That if you go and fly very low down, you're like, yeah, it doesn't look good. Which, I mean, it's Flight Simulator. You're not going to do that. So, unless you're a moron.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. I want to see how they puzzle this game together.
Yeah, same here, man. Mr. Nelson, your thoughts about that?
Well, I don't have really much thoughts in terms of, let's say, specifically Flight Simulator, because that's just not my personal cup of tea. But what I will say is that what I am interested in seeing how this may develop in terms of not just coming to Xbox, but also to possibly to cloud gaming, because I don't know how often you guys take this into consideration, but sometimes I look at games like, say, are something similar to likes of Farming Simulator, if that's what it's called, or you know what I'm talking about. The thing is this, right? The thing is this. Again, that's not my cup of tea. But let's say there's someone out there who, let's say, is looking to be a farmer, and let's say they're accustomed to the city life, but for some reason they're just interested in seeing how that process goes. So let's say there's a game out there that can give them, let's say, for the sake of this conversation, a secondhand experience of what it's about. So think about it like this. There are people out here who, let's say, want to be pilots, or let's say they have the potential to be pilots, but because, let's say, they were fortunate enough to be born in a family of folks who encourage that curiosity, or for, other reasons, be it of their own volition or not, knowing that something like that can be more accessible to people, especially at a younger age, through the services that Microsoft provides, again, be it if they have an Xbox Series, I would assume so. It's probably best to have an X Series X. You could probably, well, y'all probably let me know how it would do well on S too, but probably more better on X. But again, knowing that it will be available on that kind of service, and knowing that you could take that service all around the world, and just imagine just how many people will be more fortunate enough to have the ability to say, okay, I may not be able to afford the classes and what have you, but this is the next best thing. Now, I'm not saying take that and just run with it and say, oh, well, I got to do all this training and whatnot. I did 200 hours of flight sim. No. But let it be something that kind of helps you get an understanding of what flying is about, or say how ideally the process is supposed to go. So it helps prop you up if that's what you want. Right. So that's really the only thing I can really say that would pique my interest. But overall, that's it.
Yeah, and the thing with it is, I'm hoping this does encourage more simulators to come over, because it's funny you brought that up. Farming Simulator is on Xbox One, and from what I understand, also on PS4. So I would
Farming Simulator to help education, though.
Yeah, so it would be interesting to see more of those games. One, I mean, it's funny of me saying this, but one I really would like to see come to the Series X would be American Truck Driving Simulator. So that one would be pretty cool, but that's just me, my own guilty pleasure right there.
Mm-hmm.
So
hold on, quick question I do want to pose real quick, because you made me think about this. Since you said you would like to see more simulators like these come about, I do want to ask this for you specifically, boss, but everyone else is open to answer if you want to. But do you think, and it probably does exist to an extent, but do you think that let's say this, do you think it's possible that we may ever get a mainstream, for lack of a better word, sex simulator? And when I say sex simulator, I'm saying in terms of just different forms of intimate intercourse with, what's out there.
Oh,
When I say hold on, let me be specific when I say that. No, hold on. Let me clarify when I said that. For people who are going to say, wait a minute, you gonna let pedos and beasts wait a minute, y'all. I didn't say all that. For anyone who gets on my asshole, let me make that disclaimer real quick. I'm just saying, in terms of mainstream, do you think we could get to a point in terms of the public could have that kind of, or we could have that on the public market? Let me say that. I'll say that. Because yes, most likely stuff like that in the black market do exist, but I'm saying, do you think something like that could exist in the public that's accessible to the public? I'll say that.
If you can get past the MBTI actual rating BS bullshit, yeah. If you can get past the actual rating system and we can reinvent A. There used to be such a thing, but not anymore.
I think they have some on PC, like very few,
Yeah,
but some.
On PC is where I was told they still do exist. They just don't exist on console.
Yeah,
And
because PC is a little bit more open.
get it past the sensitive rating team, and possibly, especially if it helps education.
Right.
Gotta make sure you got an ID if you buy one, though.
Oh yeah. They're gonna be like a 5-year-old kid walks into a game store. You know what, Sonny? I just don't think you're old enough yet.
Well, I actually can speak on this because that was actually one of my pitches. And I actually tried to figure out how can I actually make the sexual element into a gameplay mechanic. Guess what? I'm still figuring that out. I'm like, how do I make it?
I wouldn't be surprised if you see
unfunny?
it in the future with the Oculus devices, because on that it's all.
It's already there. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know it's existed.
Yeah, the only problem I had was
I mean, the only thing that stops the industry from going forward in a high extreme like that is the rating system, and that's mainly to, protect the inexperienced teens that like to do that.
Protect all the children.
Yeah. Let's call it as it is. It ain't a thing of protecting children. It's a thing about protecting people who are a bit of a, kind of soft.
Soft and sensitive. Yes.
Yeah. Well, oversensitive, because the thing is, it's like, you don't want to trigger certain people, because a lot of people's traumas are legit, and a lot of the stuff that they go through is no joke. But at the same time, it's one of those deals where it's like, like take me, the stuff I go through. If I know that this game is something that's meant to trigger what I'm going through, why in the world am I going to buy it, and why am I going to go raising hell about it when I went and spent the money on it and I knew what it was about? Yeah, so yeah, that's what kills me about it, about folks that do that and everything, because it's like, look, you're going through this stuff, this is what this game about. Why did you go get it? Why are you ruining everybody else's enjoyment because it's like, no, everybody's got to have my pain. You got to know my pain. It's like, look, I would love people to understand my pain too, but that's not their problem.
No, it's not.
They're dealing with their own, and you wouldn't want to take on theirs. So come on, man. It's a two-way street.
Actually, that would be, I can say it like that. The rating has been an issue, indeed. But the funny thing is that Sony was the most lax one until recently, when they start going hardcore. And that actually Microsoft's very stingy writing comes out as, and they're actually not that bad. And it's pretty hilarious that Microsoft of all companies are like, yeah, come over here.
Well, that's because we all push for innovation and new experiences to try out and see if they're healthy.
At least you allow privilege.
Immersed in. You just have to be over 18.
Yeah, that's funny because there was a dating game on PlayStation and another one which was weird, so to speak, but it was funny as hell.
Well, like PlayStation and Xbox and PC and Nintendo, everybody's like mediums of content maturity all fluctuate. So it's kind of difficult to see which one goes where until
that is the funniest thing, because Sony now has to censor the cleavage. Nintendo, you have full bikinis in display.
That's because you turn that platform into a Minecraft game, dude. That's why they're all children. That's the exact reason why.
Yeah.
Don't turn PlayStation into a Minecraft farm, and you won't have that problem of censoring cleavage up the ass.
Probably cannot allow Minecraft soon either because you can penetrate the ground.
All right. Okay. Well, moving along. Turtle Rocks, Back for Blood. I know Tech was loving what he was seeing about that, so I'll let him go and start.
Man. Back for Blood, man. It takes me back to the old days where I met some of my closest friends, that I know right now on the Xbox platform, just playing Left 4 Dead 2, and that just brings back so many memories. And I'm glad that someone is taking this leap to really give us that feel and experience back. Because, man, let me tell you, I met some, like I said before, I met some of my closest friends on Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. That I'm still friends with to this day.
All right. What about you, Nelson?
Well, I see. I never. Again, this is one of the games that excuse me. In terms of, because I don't know if it's a spiritual successor or if it's just a re. Hold on, is it a spiritual successor? Okay, that's what I thought. Because I was thinking about the 4, and I was like, how some games might kind of like rebrand themselves, but it's still part of a franchise. So that's why I just want to make sure I understood that was the case. But this being the spiritual successor to the Left 4 Dead series, personally, again, I've never played it, but I've seen plenty of gameplay of it. And you know what I will give them kudos for, and I'm glad they did this, is they showed gameplay. And
gameplay.
Not just gameplay, but they showed just how differently they're going to approach this. They actually showed a sense of a destructible environment. I mean, there are maybe certain stages of things that are breakable, but again, you never know until they might go into depth of how things work and what have you.
Well, you just went from 100 to like 5, Nelson. You can barely hear you.
Right, I apologize.
You good?
I got a call for a second, but
you good?
What I was trying to say is, I did definitely enjoy the bit of gameplay that this show there, and I'm definitely looking forward to. And here's the thing: it may not be a game that I go out and buy and play. Well, let me not say that. I'll say that I may not be the person to go out and buy it necessarily, but I wouldn't be afraid to give it a chance to see how it would play. And of course, don't get twisted, y'all. Please support, the devs and the teams and whatnot when they put out quality games out there. Okay, but again, I would just want to see, of course. Now, here's my thing, though. I will say this: my biggest concern, though, going with that game is I just hope, in terms of connecting, we have we've dragged this horse so much over the mud these past few months, y'all. I know, but unfortunately, I have to make this comparison. I cross my fingers they do not run into the same issue in terms of connecting people and make sure they can play together like Avengers. That's the only thing. I'm being honest. That's the only thing that would just.
Please don't.
I'll just cross my fingers.
You can't fuck up that bad. I'm sorry, but you cannot fuck up that bad.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be an issue. What about you, ODT?
What's the question?
Basically, did you catch the trailer and the gameplay for Back for Blood, which is supposed to be like the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead?
No, I have not.
Oh man, okay.
You gotta check it out, dude. I highly recommend looking at that shit. Me, Firebus, everybody were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
just because of the destructible environments and shit. That was crazy. What that monster ripped through. Yeah, what that monster ripped through was ridiculous.
Yeah. What about you, Sam?
Well, I really can't say much, though I played the competition to Left 4 Dead more, which is Vermintide, which I'm gonna be roll over to the other game, Darktide, because yay, Sweden.
Yeah, that's actually the next thing we're going to get into is Darktide too.
Yeah.
So you can share your thoughts on that too if you want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and Darktide to me was far more interesting because Warhammer 40k, fuck yeah. And I see it now in gameplay. Yes, I can see it. It's Vermintide, but in this universe or in the far future. And they also let you play as an ogre, which adds a uniqueness to the game that Vermintide did not have. I'm still interested to see if they're gonna let you play as an Astartes or an Inquisitor, because you have a sister battle in the game. So it's kind of interesting. And I know a lot of people that I play with will love to get onto this.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. Tech. What was your thoughts on Darktide? Because I'm gonna get your thoughts on this, and we're gonna go and start.
We're talking about Warhammer.
Yeah. Now, we're morphing over to Warhammer now.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking sold. Yeah, say less. I barely played like a lot of. I think I played like one Warhammer like a few years ago. It was like on 360 or what have you. But dude, fucking sign me up. It looks solid. You don't really have to convince me anymore. Just give me the damn shit.
Maybe it was the Space Marine game you played. It could be Space Marine. That was on 360.
That probably is it. But real quick, quick tidbit about Back for Blood. I don't think it's an Xbox exclusive, y'all. Because I'm seeing it's literally on everything.
Yeah,
Series X, Series S, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, and PC.
Oh, there was one thing that I noticed about Darktide.
Mm-hmm.
The PlayStation logo was absent in the trailer.
Oh, it's
I think that
because
one.
in the first one it was there, and now in new trailers it's gone.
Yeah, Xbox Series S and X, and Microsoft Windows. We did it, boys. We stole a title from them. We did it.
Well, the thing is, I give or take, I want to say that if anything, it's probably just a time exclusive.
Yeah,
because I don't see the logo. What would be weird is you would normally see the logo on the website if it was coming at all, but I don't see it.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, because when they first showed it, they very, very first showed it. They didn't even say if it was a timed exclusive, but then later on it was mentioned that it was a timed exclusive. Then they took away the PlayStation logo. So we'll have
actually looking over. Yeah, PlayStation logo.
Hey man, still, yeah, I'm just glad that we stole something from Sony for once.
Yeah. So I mean, it's we'll have to see. Nelson, your thoughts on Darktide? Anything?
I've played. Hold on, was it Vermont 1 or 2? I think it was the first one. I played a little bit of it, and for what I played of it, I did enjoy it. So what I would say in terms of the gameplay, they showed off as well, which I did enjoy. It's a similar boat to what's the other game we were just talking about?
Left 4 Dead.
Thank you. I'm in a similar boat with that as well, where I wouldn't mind playing it, especially if it comes to the Game Pass, because that's how I got into Vermont, is through the Game Pass. So if it comes to the Game Pass, and if I have it at that point in time, I'll definitely give it a go and see how it plays.
All right. And what about you, ODT?
We're talking about
Darktide, Warhammer Darktide.
I played the last Warhammer when it was on a beta, but I'm not much of a Vermintide type of person. So,
okay, all right. Well, there's a few other games and other announcements that were shown, but we're getting close to the 2-hour mark. So, and I did say that we was going to try to keep it short, but I kind of failed at that.
The conversation. Hey man, look, you succeeded. You woke me up somewhat. I think the Z's aren't going to win today. Okay. All
Like, yay,
right.
Tech fought it off.
You know, I was just thinking about like what the mess yesterday was, and just like the game, like how long I've been playing. Like, so the Z's were gonna win, but you snapped me out of it. I'm awake now.
Good to hear. Good to hear. So, but I didn't get to share my actual thoughts, but I'll just do this real quick. I'm really trying to keep this quick, but I'll say this. All right, what they did differently was they opened up the polls to gamers. All right, that was kind of already the red flag as to what time it was.
Mhm.
In regards to game of the year, I already knew what was going to happen. So I will say this. I mean, take it for what it is. And, you know, if you're watching me and you watch this later and you get salty at it, then so be it. But I will give you the toxic side of the PlayStation community this. When y'all rally up, y'all know how to fucking rally up. and you know, and if it's just to make sure it's some way to sling mud in people's eyes, you will rally up like there's no tomorrow. There's something the Xbox community could learn from y'all. You know, and it seems like I'm joking, but nah, I'm pretty serious about that because we're very splintered. So, but at the same time, it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's what it is. You know, I have to say congratulations. But do I feel it deserved it? No, it did not, because as a game developer myself, a studio that, I'll put it like this: the moment that they were going through the story, this doesn't even have anything to do with the content, with the storyline. It's just a fact that that team has went through so much, has been put through a spiked ringer, just, you know, and, you know, just to satisfy this one dude, this one asshole. And that's why I'm calling him as that. I mean, it wasn't right.
Go ahead and speak your truth, boss.
And to me, it's like the moment you had stuff like that breaking into the news, such as like disgruntled employees leaking your game, you know, disgruntled employees filing lawsuits because of pay being withheld, going to doctors about mental abuse and stuff like that. The moment that stuff broke, you should have been out of the running. You should have been gone. When you got teams, you got studios out there that didn't even go through any of that crap. So that's my beefage with the whole thing. You know, that's where I'm upset about it. But the thing is, I already knew it was going to happen. I already knew it, because the thing is, out of every game that's out there that is on that platform, if it ain't God of War, it's that one that's being shoved in the Xbox faces. And they were going to make sure that one was going to be that before 2020 ended, that was going to be that last jab in the side and twist of the ice pick as they step back into the rest, you know, to rejoin the rest of prison population, as if nothing happened. That was seriously, that was the shank.
Just damn it, just stab me already, motherfucker.
I'm going to actually have one thing I want to say also before we go.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
Game of the Year 2021. Bet your ass that Cyberpunk will never be mentioned.
And it kind of sucks because with Cyberpunk, the whole thing was, oh, they came too late. Seriously?
Yeah,
Man,
that's why I feel
my
that
God.
Game of the Year should be in general.
Speaking about Cyberpunk, it just seized up on me on my Series X. It just like it's, you know, I don't get, and see, here's the thing about it came too late. And, you know, I'll let this be my final thought for the evening. You know, about Cyberpunk coming too late. Yes, it still has a ton of bugs, but also the community was at this point where come on, man, we'll be patient, but we want the game right now, you know. And if you want the game right now, unfortunately, you got to deal with the the shitty side effects of it. Oh, okay, you want the game now? cool. So you want pile of bugs on the side? You know, with that, you want some glitches too? Like what do you want here? And I can personally say that, I mean, so far from playing it, it's, I mean, on Xbox and PC, I mean, yes, it could use some work, but I mean, it is what it is. Well, at that point, can't really complain from something, you know, that you were offered. The hell is this person? But yeah. Well, yeah, I'll end my thoughts on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd Boss go?
Boss?
Yeah.
Boss is gone? Boss is gone? I didn't even know what was happening.
There's like, fuck this shit, I'm going.
Hey man, but let me tell you, so far from playing it on PC and Xbox, I mean, obviously PC is going to be the better version, but you know, it's still, you know.
I mean, to be fair, coming to the end of the last generation and the beginning of the new one, you know, it actually could have not actually gone worse. So I'm actually, myself, I'm actually quite proud of the Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for
All right,
what
sorry
it is,
about that.
and we just got to kind of wait until the next gen update comes out to really, if you want the best visual experience, you know, you're gonna have to see this for what it is right now. Yes, on the consoles it looks like crap to a degree, but you know, I mean, you're gonna have to deal with it until February. That's when the game's really gonna shine at its best. But I'm still gonna play it because at this point I've been waiting, you know, for 8 years for it. You know,
what is your personal opinion? Do you think that for the sake of next generation, do you think they should just put the updates only on Series S and X and leave X and the traditional Xbox One out of it, or do you think they should still include it like they did this month?
So I mean, as far as like I can tell you, just from what I've been hearing about the game, literally being borderline unplayable on the base consoles.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking the question.
If they put it on the base consoles, the consoles are just going to blow up.
Yeah.
Okay? Point being, it's just going to blow up. Now, how I feel about just leaving it behind like that, same thing with Halo. You know, I don't think. I think they should just stay out, leave the current gen, the last gen consoles out of it, and just keep current gen consoles in the loop.
So just keep current gen consoles.
Yeah, leave Series X and PS5 to get the update. Series X, PC, and PS5, because PC is still dealing with the current gen version, but obviously slightly better. But just leave Series X and PS5 in it, you know, in Series S as well. Don't put it on Xbox One, or you know, don't put it on PS4 because they'll literally explode.
Yeah, I would just regular make the argument. Don't put it on the older devices.
Don't do it at all. It's not going to be able to handle it.
I'm going to be the one who contradicts your opinion on that and say it's possible. I would say they can let it go when they have optimized the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in between now and February, they're gonna do a ton of optimization for it. Like, there's just a hotfix that came out today for PC and PlayStation, and the Xbox is coming at a later date. But you know, they're still tweaking and working on the game. Yes, if they would have delayed it until February and you just would have had everything out at once, I mean, it still would have been buggy, you know, because it's a huge world. You can't squash every single bug there is.
I think
there is no bug-free experience, period.
Yeah, and especially how big this world is. I think that they did the right thing, and now let us find the rest of the bugs that they missed.
Right, yeah. I mean, pretty much that's all we can do. That's all we can do at this point is just wait.
I can actually recommend you to check out one game, and that is Metro 1 and 2 on the Switch.
I don't have a Nintendo Switch currently, but I might get one.
There is a video of a guy showing comparison for the Xbox One version and the Switch, And at times you look at them and like, I can barely notice the difference.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, that is impressive.
Yeah, sometimes it can be good. And it's all just a matter of, and I don't want to go on a tangent here, but it's all just a matter of how the company handles optimization at that point. On PC side, there could have been slightly better optimization, but hey, I mean, we got what we got. Same thing with the consoles, on Series X and PS5. Yes, they couldn't have done a full next gen upgrade day one, but they could have tossed a little something for us in there. Just a little something.
Yeah.
Giving us some kind of DLSS like alternative since the technology is there, but they don't want to use it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I mean, I know I'm not going to play the best version, but I know that.
Right.
I
I mean,
will get
the experience that I'm just getting at is, I'm just glad I'm able to play it at the end of the day. I'm glad I'm able to play it. Yes, it may not be in the best clarity 24/7, but I'm able to play it. I've been playing it for most of the day today, so
yeah, that's actually
I can't
complain about it. Like, it's run to 720p, it's so low resolution, and I was sitting here on a 720 screen. So I'm like,
I mean, if you're gonna complain about resolution constantly, just get a PC and just max it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in the future. Well, I said this before anyway, because we really over the 2 hour mark. But in closing, is that with this new generation that we're in, the whole argument about resolution is definitely going to have to start taking a backseat, because with the new tech coming in from NVIDIA's camp of DLSS 2.0 and from Microsoft camp and AMD, which is Direct ML, is going to get to a point where it's not even going to make a difference, because you're going to be looking at your 4K screen or your 1440p monitor, and you're not even going to be able to tell the damn difference anymore.
There is already NVIDIA's one. They actually lowered the resolution to 540 up to 1080, and it actually looked better than 1080. And the game, the game even run.
Is that because it was in 1440 though?
Yeah, that was the same video they tried. It was with Control they tested on. And I was actually quite impressed. Just lower resolution, let the AA system just do the hard work.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the beauty of the Microsoft Xbox xCloud and the machine learning, is everything kind of just takes a back seat once the GPU has control. That's kind of the beauty of being run on the actual cloud and not just hardware restricted.
Absolutely.
All righty. Well, on that note, let's move on to the outros. Since you were the last speaker, ODT, can tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh, for the time being, everybody can find me in this wonderful tower or on Instagram, which I just updated this morning. So thank you for all my wonderful new followers and support throughout this current year. And I am going to probably be playing a lot of my Xbox in the coming week, because my wonderful 31st is on Tuesday. And Twitter, I am always awake as long as I'm up and moving.
All righty. And Tech, can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Well, you can find me, beautiful people, over at TechStorm Gaming on Twitter. You can also find me on YouTube doing the Technical Difficulties podcast with Mr. Keep That Bear in Mind here every Thursday at 1 o'clock. You can also find me on Instagram if you so like. You just have to request the follow. But yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me.
Okay, and moving to Mr. Keep That Bear in Mind, Mr. Nelson, can you tell the wonderful folks at home where they can find you?
Yes, y'all can find me on the Technical Difficulties podcast, once again, which you can look up on the channel on YouTube, TechStorm. And you can find me on Twitter at Mr. KTBIM1.
All right.
And that's it.
He got it right this time.
He got it right. He got it right this time. I'm proud of him.
I'm sorry, Nelson.
I'm gonna let that one go. I'll let that one go.
All right. And for today, and hopefully not the only day, we've been joined by a special guest, which is a longtime friend of mine's, and also a fellow gamer, Sandy. Sandy, can you tell everybody, gaming wise, where they can find you?
Oh, that's a big problem. I think YouTube would be the closest, but you find a lot of random silly videos from me there, especially from GTA.
Okay. Well, what about your gamer tag or your Steam and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, I think on majority of systems, it's a Sunny F2000 is usually the gamer tags I'm sticking around with. Unless I forgot something that I have a weird one somewhere, but I don't think I should.
All righty. Okay. Well, on that note, I hope everybody enjoyed their week. And I mean, yeah, I know the game awards were a roller coaster of various emotions and everything else, but it's now
We did
past.
tell you to hamper your expectations, everybody. Though, keep that in mind.
I cut that out, you.
We understand you walk around with your bag of salt, just waiting to sprinkle it on someone. Okay, but
Is there ever,
God damn it!
is there ever a day you forget to leave it at home?
I never leave home, so I don't know.
Well, that answered that. Well, on that note, everybody, enjoy your weekend, and most importantly, enjoy your gaming. Good night.
Stay gaming, everybody.
Stay safe.